Hey Gail, good start here. I like your individual elements. They're really well done. So the main suggestion I have is to work on something to create unity. You have a lot of contrasting elements and colors, so I think if you simplify some of the color and just work on some of the size relationships and placement, it'll have a lot more unity. I was just going to show you. I know I've already showed you this stuff, but and I'm not saying to use this layout, but this is someone who was in the class. Oh gosh, where did it go? Was in the class last term. But notice the colors, how they're very similar. It's kind of like a palette. It's kind of pastel-y. And then she put her text in the negative space. Let me see if I can find that week 8 one. So here's the week. Oh, and she added some clouds and stuff. And I'm not saying to use this because this has a lot of text. It doesn't even need that much. And she should have made the city name should have been smaller. So again, just think of how you can unify it. And I just think with the color that there's just a lot of color and it doesn't seem to relate to each other. So I would just really think of simplifying the palette. If you look on that, there's some palettes too in Illustrator. Oh, where did it go? Okay, this is the color guide in Illustrator. It's under, you probably can barely see this. It's so small. I wish they'd make these things bigger. But anyway, it's called Color Guide, and you can find it on Window. Also, it's in your color up in the right. But if you click on, these different ones, you can really get some palettes that might go good together. And again, the idea here is to keep the color pretty simple, and then you can also add something to make it, just pop, like a little bit of emphasis. And if we go here, let's see. Under here it says, and you can change, these are the warm cool combinations. So again, you can kind of look, these will give you some ideas too, but I mean, I would just really simplify the color. I think that, I think the color could really work to create unity. I would search for another font just because I think the way that Detroit is viewed is kind of more masculine. I know that sounds corny, but this kind of is a little bit scripty feminine, and I would also make the state smaller. It's quite big. So and when you look at the map, this almost the whole half is this. I think I forgot what this thing's called, spirit person or something. This is almost the whole bottom half. So you may want to work on some size relationships. You could make this smaller. You could put, buildings in from the side, and then you could have the bridge there. So, that's basically what I would work on. You don't really need to draw anything else. You just need to work on scale and size. Let me see if I can find just a second. I just wanted to show you a couple ones from people in the class. I'm not sure if they're your class, but these are the people that went to the WebEx meeting I did the other day. And notice how, I mean, these they both need work, but notice how there's some buildings. This is just too crowded in the front, and just kind of how they handled the buildings and the color. And this one too is someone in the class, and this one needs a lot of work too, but basically the background looks pretty good, but there's just way too much going on over here. But and again, this is like some opera house, but and this needs a lot of work too, but just to give you some ideas about ways that you can continue to work. I think it could use a gradient in the sky. It could use some texture in the water. Also, I'm not sure why there's this orange little bit here. It's a little confusing. It also, the windows being black too kind of makes it look more like it's dark and nighttime. So you might want to add a few little lights in here. But I would just really condense this bottom part and bring this whole like top down more. Then you're going to have more room, so you don't have the text stuck up in here. You don't need to have every little bit of up here filled up with content. This could also be a little bit smaller. So, I mean, you could add a little bit more detail to this if you wanted, and you could change the color. You don't need to stick with the color because it's a statue. So Yeah, it's always tough when you have a bridge. It's hard to create unity. Another thing you could do too is not have these hard horizontal lines. They kind of divide the space in a strange way. So if you make the horizon line more about the buildings, just like here, it's less, it's less hard on the eyes. And it's even here, see, there's not, I mean, there's some abrupt angles here that need to be fixed, but if you notice how they're kind of, this gradient's not working either. But so anyway, you could, just some suggestions. But overall for this week, you've done really good. And yeah, just let me know if you, I'm probably going to do another one of the WebEx things on Wednesday or Thursday. I mean, we spent about an hour last time, but I guess you couldn't come, but that's fine. But anyway, yeah, I hope this helps. And feel free to send me drafts to look at as well. Okay,